Talking about erectile dysfunction isn't easy. Most people brush it off, or they blame themselves, saying things like, I lost my mojo. Or people make excuses like, I had a long day at work. Sorry, honey, I'm just not feeling it. But with Roman, guys, it's easy to talk about with a real healthcare professional who can prescribe real medication. It's simple, it's safe, it's totally discreet. Guys, with Roman, you get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for ED, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. A healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, Roman will ship it to you for free with 2-day shipping. The whole process is straightforward, simple, and discreet. Getting started is simple. Just go to getroman.com/Chael and complete an online visit. Go to getroman.com/Chael today. If approved, you'll get $15 off your first order of ED treatment. Conor McGregor did this great piece. He was doing it with Helwani. And it was like on Skype, so Errol's in the studio and Conor pops up on the screen. Conor looks like $1 million. He's in a suit and he was putting a Band-Aid on the destruction that was his fight with Khabib. So this was a troll job to the highest of levels, and it was done so well. I was so impressed watching him. And what he said was that Khabib was never crowned champion that night. Khabib ran out of the ring and sent his hooligans in, and the ceremony never took place. Bruce Buffer never announced him champion, and Dana never gave him the belt, and therefore he is not champion. Conor is still the champion. And it was just a thing of brilliance. Like to watch the master work in this way, and Conor is a master at this, to watch him work in this way and with such a straight face, I loved it. And Conor went further to weigh in on Khabib. And he was saying that Khabib has showed himself as not a true fighter. A true fighter would not run away when there's so many great fights to be had. And he was talking about some of those fights. Conor went into fill in the blank. I think he threw himself in there. He might have thrown Poirier. I don't know who. You guys get the point, but they were all fights that Khabib had already had. Therefore, the statement has no merit. And not to mention, Conor, who is questioning Khabib, who retired. Conor just came out of a retirement. In fact, I believe his second. Which is why this was extra entertaining and wonderful for me. Because again, he presented this with such a straight face. Even Errol Helwani, the great questioner, didn't really have follow-up questions. Like he was just watching this ridiculousness unfold and was almost caught off guard and just let it go. Like Errol never called him up. Well, Conor, you just retired. In fact, you've done it twice. You've retired through social media 8 times. There was nothing there. Or you're saying that Khabib ran away because he doesn't want to fight you. He already fought you. And he already fought Dustin. He already fought every other name that you're throwing out there. I mean, just by example. But I'm also appreciative that Errol didn't do it because he would have thrown Conor off. There's no point in bringing the truth into Conor's story. Let him entertain. Not to mention, it was wildly effective. Many people don't know that Conor fought Khabib. This is the mistake fighters always make. And it was very refreshing to see Conor not make it. Fighters get so tied to their own career and they think everybody else knows. I've seen every one of Conor's fights. Do not ask me to name for you who he fought. By example, I've seen all of Floyd's fights and he's had 50. Don't ask me to tell you who Floyd fought. What do you think? I don't have anything better to do than sit around and remember what somebody else did? I only bring that to you because Conor, who is aware of what other fighters aren't, which is aware of the fact and the idea that there are so many new fans now that weren't even here, had never even seen a fight at the time Conor fought Khabib X amount of time ago. That Conor now has an ability to come in and influence and educate them on the narrative that he would like. That's why this was so brilliant. That's why this was such a smart thing to do. Not to mention, would not be fair for Conor, Poirier, Chandler, the Hangman, Ali Aquina, Paul Felder, Charlie Olives, to have to live in the shadow of Khabib. You guys will remember, and we saw this one time, and it's very unfair, but it was when Daniel Cormier became the light heavyweight champion. And people, well, yes, you're the champion in the absence of John Jones. They did that to him. Wildly unfair. I don't know if I've ever seen it in all of sport before. In all of sport, I don't know that I've ever seen a time where somebody did not enter the tournament and then whoever came out with the gold medal was questioned because of whoever didn't show up. I mean, that's one of the primary fiduciary responsibilities of competition. It's volunteer. If you don't raise your hand and put yourself in it, you don't get to be part of the conversation. That's been true throughout history, except for Daniel Cormier. And I bring that to you because it is very wise of Conor to get ahead of that. To not make any question, to not make the mistake that Jan Blachowicz made 5 minutes after he won the championship, which is to call out the guy who he can't get a fight with, John Jones. He's not putting himself over, he's putting John over. Conor is dismissive of Khabib. Not a real fighter, not a true fighter. Stated his reasons why. Ran away, was never even crowned champion, never had the official ceremony. And while some of you are going to think, that's ridiculous. Sure, go ahead and think it. But there are new fans out there who don't even know that that fight happened. Don't even know what Conor's referring to, that Khabib jumped out and ran away from the ring. They have no idea. They never saw it. And they're not going to go and look it up on Fight Pass. It was a really great piece by Conor. It was a troll job, sure. Was it well done? Yes. Yes, it was perfect.